What's up, guys? Pittsburgh Boy Shorts back again with another deck tech. We got Brian here with me today,
Hi, I'm here.
and we are doing the Nino Restander deck tech today.
This is Tyler's special deck that has like almost swept our last 3 locals you've played it at.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
So it's been performing pretty well, and it was a definite surprise because you see Restander and you're just like, oh, that's a pretty basic finisher. Why would you play that over 12 standby or something else?
Yeah, but we can get that into that with the level 3s.
All right. So start us off with the deck list here.
Alright, so we run 3 Rickies in my list for obvious reasons to get level 1 combo in your hand much easier, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, clock plussing, super good. Gives you that extra assurance for your level 1 combo. So in any deck where you're relying more heavily on your level 1 combo,
Which this deck does, so.
playing some number of Rickies is pretty good. Plus, it also lets you look at your top card, potentially set your trigger, which may be relevant down the line for your finisher turn.
Yeah, it's fine.
Seeing your trigger can be relevant. Not what you really play it for, but it can be.
Yeah, most of the time I do it to knock clock or climax.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The next card here is the climax flopper, and this card is really sick because you get first off a free stock since this level 1 combo you're playing pluses you so much hand. So you never need hand to. You pretty much indirectly pay 1 hand for climax swap instead of paying a stock.
Which in a deck where your level 1 combo does plus you so much hand it can be essentially free, especially if you're overhand after hitting a brainstorm or something. Yeah,
exactly. You have a dead card in hand or something, and you just throw it into stock, even if you don't need to climax swap.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, it's a climax swap too. Your second trigger is pants, so it makes it a lot easier to get into your level 1 door in case you need that as well.
Exactly.
All right, our next card here. We got 2 and 1. Yeah, we're gonna be sorry to jump in, but yeah, we're switching back and forth between languages here because Quince is kind of straddling the line right now. So it's gonna be some cards will be English, some will not. But yeah, hit us with the Itsuki here.
All right, we do 3 of the Itsuki Chiri, which helps with deck speed, helps with 0 control against runners or other bombs that don't hard remove her, obviously. But against like Rudy Runner or other Quince decks with the Nino Runner, good pressure for 0. Also, the Chiri helps a lot with getting your backups, because backups are important in this deck, along with Bracelet.
It does grab Bracelet, yeah.
So that's also very key. So that's why I run 3.
And then bombs are, I feel like they're pretty well positioned right now. There's not a lot of people aren't playing a lot of cards that play well around bombs.
No, right now I think it's a lot of runners, so I think that's why bombs are in a good spot.
Yeah, like there aren't really cards, like people aren't playing like the Futaba profile right now. People are big into like the oversized runners, like Rudy, like
Nino, the
Nino one,
Amelia,
right?
Things like that, yeah. But we have a brainstorm, as all decks should.
Boy, is it a brainstorm.
Yep, and that's pretty much it.
So self-tap, salvage brainstorm, pretty solid. Waiting room's a good zone, and it's the Betty.
Sometimes, sometimes the additional power is helpful, but most of the time it's not really useful.
I have been hit with that. The 500 power can help you crest over a lane, but
Yeah,
Usually,
either most of the time it actually does tie something though.
but usually it's fairly irrelevant. And when I play these brainstorms, I miss this trigger a lot, so I'm just not used to playing them really. But that's definitely something to keep in mind playing this deck. That 500 power can come in handy.
Yeah.
All right, up
All
next.
right. Got a tech card here. This is a coin flip that is also an on-play pay-to bounce a character. So helps with opening up lanes. Helps with uh, irritating standby players. If you're playing against Mushoku, I directly tech this against Paul.
Yeah, that is pretty good against Paul because Mushoku does not want their standby targets in hand. It's fine into Rushia, but they can just, if they're level 2, they can just resummon it with the flare on board. So it's
Yeah.
not as impactful against Rushia. But into Mushoku, into a Mushoku heavy meta especially, or standby
Yeah, I
meta.
could say that this card could be changed around if this isn't a card you'd want to try.
Yeah, this is a tech spot for sure. But I mean,
Yeah.
it being a coin flip also gives you an extra plussing level 0, so it's not never the worst thing in the world to see early.
Yeah, it's not horrible. Uh, we also have the Drop Search, who also gets a soul in the center. Also, another way of guaranteeing your getting your level 1 combo for, or just other tech cards like I run Adachi, or grabbing one of your 2 brainstorms.
Yeah, drop search just
Helps with consistency.
extra consistency points exactly. And
Yeah.
this profile, I love the extra soul drop search profile. Invincible Hero Kokoro is a personal favorite card of mine. So
It helps a lot because if you don't have stock for another 2 soul attacker at the ends of a game, uh, being able to just drop that down and have 2 souls is really, really beneficial
yeah,
sometimes.
and that's what we look for in a card, something that is relevant at all stages of the game. And drop search with an extra soul definitely is that.
Yeah.
All right, I think this is rounding out the level 0 here.
Yeah, these will be the last 2 zeros. We got middle runner Nino. She is nice and big, 3,500 runner, just as all the other ones are. Rudy and Armin and Amelia.
I mean, provided she's not your only character, she has the freest power condition of any of those cards.
True. You can throw Brainstorm in the back row, and she guarantees herself to be 35 always.
And now if you open only her, it's a little rougher. Your opponent can field any 2 things in the 2 lanes she can move to, and she probably dies. But
I never run into that problem. I have a lot of
yeah,
zeros in this deck.
the vast majority of the time, it's not an issue. But
Yeah.
it can be in edge cases, I imagine.
All right, but this card doesn't have translations, but all it is a pay to free fresh. That's just a tech card.
Oh, whoops! I
In
did.
case of bad, yeah, in case of bad deck state.
I did forget to put the translations for this one, huh? But yeah, it's on play, pay 2, free fresh.
Yeah. Helps bad deck states in emergencies. I don't tend to play it often, but it does help in emergencies.
Mm. Nice to have.
Yeah, it's nice to have an option with like Ricky and drop search and stuff as well, in case you need it like on the spot.
Mm.
All right, so starting in our level 1s here, we have Itsuki, and she is very good at keeping your hand. So that's why I only run 2 brainstorms. She's on attack, ditch a card, look at top 3, take any number of Quince characters. I don't run the event that she can take though. But the way that I play this combo is you double or triple it. You try to double triple every game. And since she takes so many cards to hand, uh, I run 3 2K backups and 2 2,500 backups, which will crest her at 8K or 85, which hits over mostly everything
Mm-hmm.
except for like a good Eris Ghislaine combo turn.
Yeah, since she gets that extra 1500 when you use an act, and backups are act abilities.
Yes, I forgot to say that. But yeah, she's also good deck speed,
Mm-hmm.
good hand filter.
Yeah, since she can ditch any card. Yeah.
Yeah, any card. So
Mm-hmm.
hand filter, ditch a climax, you over plus, and then she's also another hand filter because you over plus.
Yeah. So since she is ditch a card, in most cases, assuming you aren't hitting climaxes, you are plussing 1 or 2 off of each combo, which is extremely passable. And
On average with my uh oh yeah, plussing. Yeah,
yeah,
I always get 2 or
you're
3. Yeah.
plussing 1 or 2. Yeah, you're hitting 2 or 3 characters in most
Yes,
cases.
yes, yes. I misunderstood.
And that will, assuming you didn't have some horrible level 0 where you were stuck there forever and lost all of your hand, this should top you back out at 7 cards in hand fairly consistently.
Yeah, I've also had games where I didn't have a hand and I clocked into one of this and its climax and I had +3.
Yeah, definitely can be a game saver.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
get the Adachi here.
Yeah, so we got a memory Adachi, and which is also useful later in the game as well after level 1s and 2s. So you can sack her and either stand and swap your opponent's characters, or you can just drag something up to the front row. That's very beneficial to the Restander since the game plan for your finishing turn is cheeky side attacks or big swings.
Oh, you can open a lane too with that. You can move something back if they have an open back row slot. That's interesting.
Yeah, it just pushes it to an empty slot.
Huh. I never realized that. That's kind of
This
cool.
card is like a really, really good Adachi.
I do like the new age profile for red, where instead of being a reverse Adachi, it actually hard removes it to another zone.
Yeah, it's very
Depending on the deck you're playing against, memory can be an awkward zone, but
I mean, sure, but I don't think one card really matters.
I mean, probably not. I mean, I would rather my opponent's Rushia be in memory where they can't shuffle back cards than be on the field. So
Yeah, yeah. I've hit Paul with this. It feels nice. Paul's never to be seen again.
we do like when Paul is not on the board too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So here are our backups. Got 3 2Ks and 2 2-1s. The 2-1 is also a anti-change. I did the one that sacks a character because I was running the Nino one, which hadn't required full field before, but you almost never have full field with this deck. So I was running into the issue where that was a dead card in my hand. So you can actually anti-change with this one.
Mm-hmm. Did you usually have an empty back row slot, or were you crashing
I,
several
I, I
lanes with it?
normally had either one empty back row or I had 2 things in the front row and 1 dead. Because normally what I do is I end up crashing 1 lane.
Yeah, because I can definitely see you having at least one empty slot in the back row usually with only 2 brainstorms and not really anything else that wants to sit back there.
Yeah,
So an anti-change counter that doesn't require full field is definitely preferred.
yeah.
And this 2K counter puts your level 1 combo up to 8K,
8K. Yeah.
which is
1500 with the her ability gets her to 6K, then the 2K from the backup gets her to 8.
cresting just about everything except for a level 1 Eris buffed by a Ghislaine.
Yeah. Which is very, very beneficial, especially if you have another door in hand. Not door. Yeah, door.
Yeah, door.
Yeah, door.
Uh-huh.
Another door in hand, or climax swapping into another door.
You can just lets you loop your combo because your stuff lives on field. Because with
Yeah.
so many backups in deck, one of your multiple Itsuki combos will likely grab you a 2K, and at least 1 or 2 of those
I've been
will.
pretty consistent with hitting with getting 2 of them off of 3 combos.
Okay. Maybe you're just lucky. Maybe you're not.
I mean, I've been playing it for like 4 weeks straight, and it's been pretty consistent like that.
Fair enough. I mean, if you just like death grip them when they come to your hand early too, if you know you're gonna combo and gonna need them to
I don't
defend your
mulligan
combo.
them away.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
mulligan them
Mm-hmm.
in my opener.
Yeah. I figured you meant like you always hit two of them off of 2 or 3 combos. I'm like,
I do.
that's kind of sacky.
Well,
All right, moving on. Enough counters.
yeah. Well, no. Here's another one.
Okay. Well,
And we got bracelet, of course, because who doesn't want to just say no to a instance of damage? Fury can grab it, which helps. Most of the time, I start death gripping bracelets at like high level 1.
mm, yeah. The one thing I did notice putting this slideshow together is you are not on any early play heals. Is this like early play heal substitute or?
Most of the time, with how this deck runs, is you end up just compressing off stock.
Okay.
So you live with your level 1 with the 1Ks, with the 2Ks, I mean, and end up just comboing on repeat to get through bad deck states and plussing hand and plussing stock.
So then, because your level 1 combo pluses you so hard, you don't need to expend as much stock on brainstorms and drop searches to sculpt your next turn. So you
Exactly.
get to compress a little bit harder that way, and hopefully just get the cancels that way and have the bracelet for emergencies.
Yeah, and then also the finishers also aren't that needed of sculpting either. So,
Yeah.
which is very beneficial for bracelet to have that stock. Because I had a game just yesterday where I had 2 bracelets in hand and I had 12 stock.
Oh well, that's just free then, because
Yeah,
your finisher takes what, like 3 stock
my finisher
just to get
takes
the bare
3 stock.
bones,
Yeah,
the bare
to
bones,
bare bones 3 stock.
because the Restander costs 2, and you can tap out completely for that and just attack in 2 lanes.
I mean, you can even attack as the Restander second.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about the Icy Tail here, and then we can get
Yeah,
to
so
the
on
Restander
play,
itself.
the Icy Tail searches a character, which is also very beneficial if you are missing your key opponent, but most of the time you're not. Uh, this is a very niche scenario because most of the time you do want to be fielding your Restanders over Icy Tailing. But if your opponent is obviously in a very compressed deck state with very little cards, this is the way to go, obviously.
Yeah, it gives you an extra way out if your opponent is sitting on, especially a small deck with a few climaxes in it.
Yeah.
Like if they're sitting there and that you see like 2 in waiting room and they have like a 10 card deck,
Yeah.
this helps you power through that a little bit and hopefully get to something a little more reasonable where you can stick some damage.
Yep. Onto the Restander itself, though.
There she is.
So, pretty basic Restander. She's just at the end of her attack, pay 2, restand as long as she has the climax. Something else is that you don't actually need the combo to use her second effect to pay 1, ditch a red card or blue card to heal.
I was gonna say your entire deck is red and blue. It's not. You have a couple yellows at 0, but it's mostly red and blue.
Yeah, but red and blue card is very easy to do from hand. You can even just ditch climaxes.
Yeah, especially if you trigger like a pants or something. Salvage a climax, ditch the climax, heal.
Yeah. But that's pretty self-explanatory itself. But
we'll get to the supporting cards here because there's a whole Exodia board that goes along with this.
Yeah. So Chica is on play reveal top if it's a character burn one, and she's also on attack giving the character 2,500 an extra soul. So what I like to do is I like to. Well, should we talk about the other Nino first?
Do you want to look at the last card and then give the whole package overview?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, yeah. Go ahead.
So this Nino is just on play, pay 1 stock, and bring out the Restander Nino from waiting room and just summon it in any slot. Also on climax play, you can give the Restander on damage canceled burn the same amount that the damage was canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So with the Ichika, that gives an extra soul. You would give another soul to the Restander, which would be 4.
4 with the climax, yeah.
And what I like to try and do is I either try and do 2 Ichikas. So burning 2, I'm always assuming that they would be either high 2 or low 3. So we could assume that they're at 3-0. Ichika, play 1, burn 1, play another, burn 1. They're at 3-2. And then with Nino swinging with 4 souls, hoping to trigger, or if you don't trigger, that's fine. So let's say you don't, which would be for 4. If they cancel it, they burn for 4.
And hopefully that second 4 sticks.
And then hopefully that second 4 sticks, but then you can restand, and then since she has 4 souls, if the character across from it is a level 3, then you can side for 1 for lethal.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can attack again, and if that first attack didn't cancel, then the second attack could also potentially cancel.
You have a chance to get that extra instance of lethal there, yeah, with the cancel burn same amount.
So this deck has a lot of cheeky side attacks, or Exodia board, as you will.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much I like to call this deck the 5-5-5-5 special, because you just
she does hit for 5 and then you cancel, and then she hits you for 5, and sometimes you cancel that, and then she restands and she swings for 5. But
also, if you can't get a Chica out though, another thing I like to do is I like to do 2 of the Ninos that give the Restander on cancel burn, so she could have 2 instances of it instead of 1,
mm-hmm.
which is also really helpful.
Yeah, you were talking about doing cheeky side attacks with your finisher. If your opponent decides to crash out for whatever reason, say they're behind and they just field a bunch of 0s and 1s and crash into your board,
mm-hmm.
Then you have the Adachi. You can pull something up from the back row and still have potentially something to side attack over.
Yeah, exactly. So the Adachi isn't a dead card later in the game, which is extremely important.
Yeah, or at the very least, you pull like the Brainstorm up and have a lane where you aren't swinging for 6 and 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess in that case, you probably wouldn't play the.
Well, most of the time, actually, though, another thing that I actually just realized is with what you were saying was if they end up crashing, most of the time they won't crash because the biggest thing I have on my board until level 3 is a 4500 level 1. I don't run early plays.
That's true.
So if I hit them to 3 first and they try and combo me, then of course they're not gonna have a crashed out board.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen open lanes at all on the board against you when you are firing this combo off. So maybe it's not as big an issue as I have it in my head here, because that's like a big fail case on a Restander, is when you're way over swinging in a lane.
That's what the cancel burns are also helpful for, though. But yeah, that is the deck tech.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say, Bray?
So, general game plan for the deck is play a normal level 0. You got your plussing runner into level 1. Top your hand back off with your combos. Protect it with backups.
Hold as many backups as you can for level 1.
Sit on bracelets to protect yourself in the case that you are eating a ton of damage early on. And then the ideal finisher board is 1 Restander, 1 cancel burn, 1 soul pumper Ichika.
I feel like you can actually tech this any way you want. You can do a Restander, 2 burn cancels. You could do a Restander, a burn cancel, a Chica, or you could do 2 Ichikas. Actually, yeah, 2 Ichikas for the burns, and then you swap them, and then have the Nino burn cancel, and a Restander. So
Yeah.
you can do it however the heck you want.
Because she only pumps the soul when she attacks, correct?
Yeah, it attacks with a full field, but you always have a full field at the end game.
Okay. But yeah, this deck, like I said at the beginning of the video, you see Restander, and you're like, oh, what garbage is he playing today? But this deck has been surprisingly consistent, and it's swept almost 4 of our locals here in Pittsburgh in a row, and we've got some pretty strong players. So it's
Yeah, I do believe that this deck also was on one of our streams on Tuesday.
yeah,
I do believe I played it once.
yeah. Check out the Four Horsemen stream from what day was that?
I think it was last week.
From June 7th or the week before, if you want to see this deck in
I
action.
think it was the week before. Yeah.
It's been on one of the streams, so definitely dig around if you are interested in seeing this deck in action. But if you've got nothing else to add,
Nope. We can show the deck list one more time, and that is the deck tech.
yep. So thank you guys for watching. As usual, we have these links here at the end of the video. Links to all the card games and competitive discords. Probably the best place to chat with other players about the game. The Facebook groups, Global and NA, are generally the best place to buy, sell, trade Weiss cards. And definitely check out Weiss Fight if you're looking for somewhere to try out decks quickly. I used to be a proponent of Tabletop Simulator, but after playing on Weiss Fight a little bit, it's just you can get a deck on there and rolling so much more quickly than you could on Tabletop Simulator. I was surprised. I hadn't actually tried it until recently.
Yeah, the speed of being able to just take an Encore Dex link and stick it in there and say, "Okay, I'm done," is extremely useful for just testing out decks.
Yeah, and if this deck is something you want to try out yourself, the Encore Dex link will be in the description. You can steal it and go play it against people at a moment's notice.
Yeah, I would love to play against people playing this.
I don't own Quints. I can't play it.
I'm saying on Weiss Fight and stuff.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I guess I did just say that, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, Pittsburgh Weiss Schwartz signing off.
So yeah.